All right, Coach, first of all, was that bulletin board material? And second of all, should the Rams be doing anything to jolt Tom Brady and the Patriots any more than they already are, having adopted the role of underdogs at this point?
Well, I'd love to follow up with what got taken out of context. Which part was misconstrued about the things that you said? And
point blank.
Yeah, I don't really understand that part. And look, I don't know why anybody would want to poke the bear. And I don't think Tom Brady needs any more motivation. I think that going into this game, it's the biggest game of most people's lives, and everybody is trying to be the best form of themselves and has worked as hard as they possibly can to prepare. But to reconfirm the narrative that New England's been riding for the couple weeks here, it's unnecessary. There's no reason to give them anything to talk about. There's no reason to taunt Tom, and especially since you're covering Julian Edelman in the slot, and he can easily, make you look really bad really quickly.
So, but as far as this adding extra motivation for Brady, we all agree he is operating at peak motivation, correct? Like that time,
yeah, but it's just he's been saying we're underdogs. He's been saying people take us for granted or think we're too slow or too old or whatever it is. And this just is a little reconfirmation of what he's been saying.
Sure, but to me, to assume this adds to Brady's motivation, just logically speaking, means if Robey-Coleman didn't say this, there was some motivation factor available to Tom Brady. I'm operating under the assumption that Tom Brady, in every Super Bowl, if not every football game he plays, but certainly every playoff game and Super Bowl, is at peak motivation capacity. The tank is full. This isn't an example of Michael Jordan finding a newspaper clipping to get himself ready to go for a game against the Denver Nuggets in February. Like, this is an athlete that is as self-motivated as any athlete I've ever seen in a sport that has the fewest number of games in the biggest game of the season. Now, I do think that if the Patriots win, Robey-Coleman's going to hear, like, his quote spit back at him, or you're going to hear Brady and Edelman saying something.
His fault. It's going to be his fault, the reason why they lose.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't think Tom Brady can be more motivated than he already was going to be for this game.
As an athlete, in real time, it don't matter. It don't matter, because it's impossible for you to think about the task at hand and to try to put that information into it that would make you do your job better. No one has more experience at the Super Bowl than Tom Brady. And to think that he needs this to be able to keep him focused, no, he doesn't. He knows where he's at on the field. It's not as if he hadn't faced him before. He was drafted, or he played with Buffalo, 13 season, 14 season, 15 season, 16 season. He played against Tom Brady 8 times in 4 years. So he's been on the field, played a lot of football. He's seen Tom Brady. And the part about Tom Brady getting older, yes, Tom Brady's gotten older. This wasn't a great season. Now, Father Time is having a battle with Tom Brady. So I as a player, know it wouldn't motivate me. And I would just be shocked to think someone like Tom Brady is going to motivate him.
Well, I guess I looked at it a little bit differently when I first heard it. I looked at it as not necessarily motivating Tom Brady, but underestimating Tom Brady. And a little bit from his perspective of, if you really think that he's diminished that much, are you going in giving him the respect that you should give to a guy like Tom Brady? So I looked at it as a little bit of his perspective being skewed. And then also, that you don't do it, so
Why
do it? I looked at it as, shouldn't that have been something?
Well, I'm going to tell you why you do it. I'm going to tell you why. Because when you get in games like this, you end up interviewing. Have you ever heard about him before? I've heard about him because I've been covering the league. Coaches heard about him. Nick heard about him. But how many times have you seen him doing a press conference? Not many times. He's been playing off in Buffalo. Hadn't been in many playoff
So your
games.
point is doesn't have the media training that some of the other guys do.
They're not used to talking. And I'm gonna tell you, a lot of times happens in a situation like this. The coaches will get us a set of clips. When you have someone that has legendary status like Tom Brady, I ain't gonna show you 10 of his greatest throws. Let me show you 10 throws that would let you know, hey man, we can get this guy. Let me show you things right here of what Tom Brady did that would generate confidence. And then you come into your interview and you say...
And that's what's top of mind.
Yes.
And well, the other thing is this, and here's why I'll defend Robey-Coleman a bit, even if the comments were unnecessary. Tell me where... Spot the lie. Age has definitely taken a toll. I believe that to be true. For him to still be doing it, that's a great compliment for him. I believe that to be true. But I think that he's definitely not the same quarterback he was. I believe that to be true. Like,
right.
Does
he can't be the same quarterback that he faced in 13, 14, 15 when Buffalo, what he was doing to Buffalo.
Now, at no point did he say, and in fact, I think he's a below-average quarterback. And in fact, I think he's the weak link on the team. He didn't say any of those things. I think everything he said there is accurate. And so that's where he says, taken out of context, I think he means, I wasn't trying to slap the man in the face. I was giving an evaluation of what I'm seeing.
I think Coach Mangini makes a great point talking about, regardless, even if we feel that way, should there be a higher degree of respect for Tom Brady? Now, that part I can agree with. I don't believe Tom will be motivated by it. But when you get into a game like this, there should be. You want to be as quiet as a church mouse in stuff like this. Like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to be as vanilla of any interviews I've ever done. But that comes through seasoning. This is not a guy that's used to doing a bunch of interviews.
When we were 14-2, it was late in the season. We were playing a team, I forget who it was, Jacksonville, and they had almost a reverse record. And Bill came in, and he showed a bunch of clips. And I walked out of that room, and I was talking to my wife, Julie. She said, how's it look? And I said, oh, my God, these guys look really, really good. And she's like, what? What are you talking about? Because that's what Bill would do, is he would show all the things that they had the potential to do, because as a group, he didn't want us to underestimate our opponent at any point, in whether it was a team like that or in this moment, because the one time that you let down, the one time that you think, I can relax against you, is the one time that could be the difference in the game. And going into a game without anything but absolute respect for every single person you're playing may give you that pause in the moment that's the difference between going down in history as the winner or, you know, an asterisk like
absolutely. And what you guys needed to do when you're 14-2 and playing a terrible team is almost trick the players into believing, man, this team's really good. I think what Chris's point was, if you are going up against a team that's been to 9 Super Bowls, that has the greatest quarterback of all time, you don't want your players going to the game saying, man, if I make one mistake, the game's over. Like, these guys, you want them to feel like they are beatable. Now, maybe you don't want to go too far with it, but you don't want the Pats to have the mental edge of they are this juggernaut. I think that's the point about showing the bad plays when you're playing a team like them.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.